Today guys, it is late in 2023, but I am completing my what's in the bag. I'm adding something into my golf bag that might be exchanged in and out next season, but it's something that I feel like I've been missing. It's under this head cover, but it's not the 5 wood you've seen before. So guys, it's also not a 3 wood. We do have a 7 wood back in the bag, 21 degrees. And yes, you'll know that in my bag, I also have a 3 hybrid, the Tacoma 101U. But this is something that's going to add a little bit more versatility into my game. I do believe that utility is fantastic, but we're out here at PGA Frisco, the home of the PGA of America, and it's a little bit breezy out here in Dallas, so we've got 2 options here. I want something in my bag that potentially I can get going low, something then also out here with some longer par 5s. I need something going in there with plenty of height and landing soft, so choosing those on different days, depending when you're playing your golf or where you're playing your golf, you can start to think, right, if the weather's different, if it's warm in the summer, the 7 wood might be perfect. If some of the par 4s, just like this one here. But then other days, if it's into the breeze, we're going to start to see that we'll take that out and I'll get my utility back in the bag. For me, a 7 wood is something that I've had in the bag for years, ever since I was around about 18 years old. It was only this year I did replace that with the 5 wood. But I feel like you can do everything with this club. And that's a perfect example. I've tried to fly one down there, that's launched nice and low. That's in the middle of the fairway. But then in the same time, I feel like with this, I can get that launching high. If this was downwind instead of into the wind, I feel like I can knock that ball position back, hit it nice and high. And this is where going into par 5s, it's certainly going to be a little bit better than that utility. That utility might come off that little bit lower, not hold the greens, but that utility is going to give us another option. Here I'm going to put this a little bit further forwards. In my stance, I'm going to hit this a little bit higher and show you the versatility. Straight away there, probably double the height there. That's still come off nice and fast. That's still found the fairway. And that's for me where I don't feel like I've lost any kind of distance really, and I feel like it's confident behind the ball. For me, that looks a little bit better than a hybrid, but that's something that you need to take into account. So guys, obviously it's late in the year to add this into my golf bag, but it's something that I feel like you can use in winter and in the summer. Again, in the winter, a driving iron launching low and is not going to run out probably as far as you want it to, but with a 7 wood, it's going to be all carry, so you're going to make sure that you're optimizing that, whereas the 3 iron might come out a little bit lower, like we say, pitch earlier and stop. And it's interesting because we're going to get some numbers and be able to show you exactly what I mean there. What kind of ball flights are we getting, what kind of trajectory, and how is that affecting total distance. You'll see there in the fairway, we do have both of those golf balls. We can see that it is ever so slightly shorter the one on the right, which was the higher ball flight, but that's where I would say that's not too bad. I've lost 5 yards, that's still playable. If I know that's going to be the case into this breeze, then it's still a club that is perfect for my golf bag. It puts me in a good place there on this short par 4 that I couldn't quite reach with a driver, and I feel like I can get it in play. And that's something that you need to think, do you want a club in your bag that you just feel confident with, something that you know you can put into play? If you're not swinging it your best, you can go to this club, rely on it just to get you in play, keep enjoying your golf, even lower your scores because you might get away, you might hit more fairways than you do with a driver, and that can help you reduce your handicap. You'll actually see here when we get onto the fairway, there may be only a couple of yards in it, so very interesting there from that tee shot into the breeze that we've not lost too much. It's still coming off with good ball speed. That's 2 fairways hit and 2 good shots to have in. Guys, you'll see there, even into this breeze, that's still gone around about 230 yards, which is a perfect gap for me, and that's why I put the 7 wood back in. My 4 iron's looking at around about 210 yards max, so this is where over the winter you really need to think about getting your yardages and see what fits in there. Have you got a couple of clubs that go the exact same distance? That's not going to benefit you. Obviously you need to get something that's got a nice gap in there and something that fills you with confidence. And that only left me 100 yards into that green, into that breeze. Nice and easily into the middle of the green there, give myself a chance at a putt. So obviously 7 woods have been something that I've been making a little bit of a comeback, not only on tour, but with a lot of amateurs. A lot more fitting kits now do have a 7 wood in. You can match them up with a hybrid. It all depends on what kind of shaft length you feel more comfortable, what kind of head size you like. And for me, I like that much more than the shape of a hybrid. And that's why I've got either a utility in, which is a little bit bigger looking than my irons, but not too bulky. And then from there, I'd be happy and have more confidence behind the golf ball with the 7 wood. And that's what you want. You want confidence with a club if you're going to hit it off the fairway, which you probably will hit this a lot more than maybe a 5 wood or a 3 wood, but also off the tee, something that you feel like, I can just get this into play. So 2 good shots there have left me this chance here for birdie. Again, it's an outside chance, but it's made a very easy hole of that. Let's give this a go before we jump to the numbers. Let's see what we're talking about. So guys, if we talk about the 3 hybrid first, or utility iron, we can see clubhead speed on average is 96 miles an hour, and we've got a carry of 213 yards, running out to 239. So one big thing we obviously want to talk about is the height there. You can see I've hit 2 relatively high, and then from there the second one is in at around about 20 yards high. So total height on average of 78.4. So you can see that's exactly what we would expect from that kind of club. That trajectory coming out a little bit lower and running out over 20 yards, nearly 25 yards. So something to take into account if you're playing on links courses, or if you're playing some more heathland courses, could be a perfect option in the winter and the summer. So if we now look into the 7 wood, the 7 we can see straight away longer shaft, so we've got a clubhead speed up there, up at 99 miles an hour, so I did have one in there over 100, so that is going to affect that distance carry. So 224 yards carry, or 225, with a total of 250. So also still running out 25 yards, which was very interesting there. We can see again consistencies in ball flight. One of them was a little bit of a pull, which did land a little bit earlier, so that will have made that a little bit longer. But a peak height of 10 feet higher, exactly what we would expect to see from this club, landing a little bit softer into those greens. But the club length is a little bit longer, but I feel there's more versatility in this club. So guys, that shows you there with the numbers why both of these clubs are going to be in and out of my bag next year. 2 more down this fairway. That's exactly what you expect. A nice towering high flight straight down the middle, and then we saw from the numbers we know exactly what we're going to get from this 3 iron. A normal trajectory will come out nice and low, a little bit of a shorter shaft length, gives you a little bit more confidence with this potentially. And again, if you like the look of an iron, this might be something that goes into your bag. But 2 totally different flights there, 2 nice and strong ball flights that you need at different times. Guys, comment below, hopefully you've enjoyed that bag. What is going to be going into your bag going into 2024? I'll see you again tomorrow.